Hey,
Okay.
da
Hello.
dun
Hello.
dun dun dun, da dun dun, ba dum bum. So
Sounds
here we
good.
are again, two PK podcast,
2 PK.
number 11, I think. Here we are in Latvia.
Season
That's
two.
Dallas over there.
We're in
Dallas,
season
oh,
two.
season two. We left on a cliffhanger. I don't even remember what the cliffhanger was. You remember Dallas and
Well, the cliffhanger
Agenscons?
was actually that Jesus looks like Andy Gibbs in from the Bee
Oh,
Gees in most of the things, but we were supposed to leave on the cliffhanger of Civil War Part 2
oh,
in
I
America.
thought, yeah, government, the Civil War.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Which
Sunday.
is Sunday night in Riga. Um,
Cloudy,
another
overcast.
Yeah, yeah, it rained all day here. I don't know
Hmm.
how it
Yeah.
seemed it was pretty low energy day for the
Yeah, I
most
made
part.
some mushroom soup today. My
Yeah,
father's recipe.
yeah, nice. I bet the
I
this weather's probably good for mushrooms in general. Like there
yeah, I
might be
guess.
some good ones.
I just don't know which ones are poisonous or not, so I don't feel like a real Latvian sometimes.
Well,
So
apparently all the most of the ones that you'd find in your yard are poisonous.
I
Um,
don't have a yard, Dallas. I'm not a wealthy landowner like you.
well, I'm saying like if you found it, if you were walking around the city and saw them saw them in other yards, like something about the
In our
wood.
yard, we have only the finest mushrooms.
Wait, no, you got
Yes.
to get them out of the forest for them to be edible,
Mm.
typically.
Yeah, forest shrooms. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Where it's the more
Well,
the
one of the things I praise Latvia for, maybe I've said this before. So you have your tools from Little that you plug on the show, the Park Life tools,
don't, don't get me started. Yeah,
Parkside
yeah.
tools,
Well,
and I have my
it's more of a like product testing, and
hmm.
half of them fail, but yeah,
But you know, just hearing the name is worth it
yeah.
to them. But I want to give my shout out to Latvian smoked meats.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if you agree with me on this, but the smoked meats here that are just unbelievable. So
Yeah,
I usually
certainly.
buy
The
this
smoked chicken, the smoked fish.
and the pork, the
Hmm.
salted pork is that's what I'm.
Yeah.
So Remy now they have this. So you used to have these little packets of bacon. You buy it and then you just slice it, cook it like bacon. And I couldn't find those anymore. So I just saw this one. It was like it looks like a whole pig butt, like the whole thing with the skin and everything. And it is the best bacon I've ever had in my existence. So I use it to make
Wow.
this mushroom soup, and it's just like it elevates everything to the next level. So
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from. I don't
We
know what it
found
is, but it's amazing.
these little minced bacon pieces, where it
Mm-hmm.
was like little minced pieces, cubes,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
those were really good, like for omelets
You
and
sprinkle those in a little bit, and just
mhm.
killer.
Saw
Yeah.
a steak and like other meat vending machine at the Agenskalns Tirgus this
Oh, I
week.
thought it was a pizza making machine.
No, it's steak, like raw steak. One of them said, I think it was like 45 euros for one of them. Yeah, I don't know
A
if it's
steak machine?
s- steak and other cuts too, and other things like that were
That's the
associated
weirdest thing
with
I've
it.
ever heard. I thought it
Sausages,
was a
yeah,
pizza making
so
machine. I
yeah,
don't know why I completely
like
missed it. Oh,
sausages. Mhm.
speaking of pizza, I want to give a shout out. I need to look at the name of the pizza place. So you don't eat pizza, right? Because of your you don't do gluten or you don't, right?
I do every now and then. I just can't have it all the
Because
time.
oh yeah, so I've always been looking for like the best pizza place
Hmm.
in Riga, like
And it
and I
depends too on the mozzarella. Like if it's fresh mozzarella, it just kills me.
oh yeah, I think a lot of people they don't realize like that Riga has some of the best pizza in the world, I would say. Because I've been to Italy, I've had Italian pizza, and then there's a lot of Italian chefs who come here and then they make their authentic pizza here.
Hmm.
And I don't think people realize how good we have it.
Well, some
And
of it is. Some now you go to the chains and you might
no, that's why no, you
you
don't go
might
to the
be
chains. You got to
chewing
go to the ones
you
that
might
are
be
owned
chewing
by
on it for a
the
while.
Italian named ones. The Italian
Yeah.
named ones are
Yeah,
your are
yeah,
your are your best bets.
yeah,
So
for
last
sure.
night or Friday night, my lady and I went to Ol Sol Mio on Zirnabuyela.
Mm,
Ol Sol Mio. And I'd been there before by myself once. It's just different, then I'm just eating the pizza, I'm kind of tasting it. But this
hmm
time we went together, and the place is hopping. It's got the classic red and white checkered tablecloths, little Italian feel to it. You go in, they got the big wood fire oven just right up
hmm
front. So right when you walk in, they're pulling pies out. They're pulling pies out. They got boxes. They're stacking boxes. They're doing like lots of work. There's a birthday party. They played Italian birthday song. The owner came out and celebrated with them at the other table. And we're just sitting there having the wine, eating the pizza. And it's like, this is so great. There's two guys in front of us that are speaking Italian. You know you're in the right pizza place when that's where the Italian people go when they come to town. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was amazing. Also mio.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
fantastic.
it's all about the dough. Like if you have the
Yeah, that
right
that sour the dough with the puffy crust and
well the
the
super
well the oven too.
fine.
You
It's
got to
like
have those
super
those
it's like point or it's like something like 0.1 or so. I forget what it is, but it's like
the
a
flour they use double
yeah,
zero
it's
is
like
what they
double
call it.
zero. That's it. Yeah, double
Hmm.
zero. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So that was my plug for the week.
Excellent.
I want to ask. Oh, I got a new segment here. I want to try a game with Dallas. This is a new game that I came up with. Dallas doesn't know we're playing this game, but we're playing this game. Are you ready, Dallas, for the game?
I believe so.
The game
Maybe.
is simple. First, I just want to ask, you're not looking at like on the computer, you're not looking at CNN
No.
right now. No.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
So I have CNN open on my monitor here, and I just want you to tell me one of the headlines on the front page of CNN right now. Sort of the question. All right, headlines CNN right now. Dallas, what do you got?
Um, I'm thinking something about Trump, obviously.
Trump is
Um,
the first word of the headline.
Trump, first
What
word
did
Trump.
Trump? What did Trump? Yeah, first word Trump.
And let's see. I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm really distracted right now.
Okay, let
it's
me
not a
let me
great
try to
time.
undistract you, Dallas. What's one important issue going on in the world today that Trump would say something about?
Russia and Ukraine. That's
No, it's not Russia and Ukraine. Nope. It is Trump warns Hamas of
and
obliteration,
Israel
in
was my
quotes,
next. Yeah.
if it doesn't cede power. So that's the
Oh,
headline.
okay. I heard
I had no
there's a
idea.
deal.
I didn't hear about this one.
they're releasing the hostages, or all of them dead or alive, or something like that. Where there's
They're doing it?
some new peace deal that's been announced.
Hmm. All right, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Peace is fine. I'm all for peace. I don't know about you.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I think that's. I mean, if but it's like war is peace, right? Like in Orwell. Um,
Peace is war, war is peace, war
hmm
and peace. Hmm. Okay. I got another question for you. So this isn't a game. I'm just curious. So in the speeches last week to the generals,
hmm
Hegseth and Trump, and they were talking to these generals, and it was funny, and I saw lots of clips of it, and people were making fun of it. But the one question I never heard anybody answer or ask is, who are America's enemies? So Hegseth kept saying, our enemies, when we face our enemies, when we tell our enemies, our enemies. Who is that in Hegseth's mind, or who is that in reality? What do you think?
Yeah, well, it's like they're turning it all inward. But also there has been a lot of influence over the years with China and Russia. And so if there are adversaries or, the com competitors moving to adversaries, moving to enemies, then I
But
would
he's
say that,
using the word enemy as if we're ready to go to war with somebody
right,
right
right.
now.
Like there's someone
So
very
who?
clearly
Yeah.
that you would have, right? No, I don't. And
I
he
mean,
was also, if you listen to that,
wasn't it so much easier when we were kids and it was Russia was the enemy, the Soviet Union was the enemy, and we had this like just right there, and you could just point to them this
hmm
all the time. And now it's like the rhetoric just doesn't have the same feel because it's like I'm sitting there going, who are we
Right,
fighting against? Who is our
right.
struggle against?
There's not a clear us
Bad guy.
and them scenario. Um, but
You know what they say,
if you
Dallas?
listen to that speech, then
If you
you'll
can't see the bad guy, then the bad guy might just
be you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like there's
If
the
you're
meme
running
of
from the
are we
bad
the
guy and you turn
baddies?
around and there's no bad guy there and everybody's running from you, then
Hmm. Or
yeah, maybe you
like
got
there's the old meme of are we the baddies? You
yeah, I
know,
love that. It's one of my favorite. I show that to everybody
watching.
and they haven't seen it. Yeah.
Hmm.
What were you saying though? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Well, if you listen to that speech that Hegseth gave, he was talking out of both sides of his mouth. Um,
No,
where
no, say
he
it isn't
was,
so.
yeah, because I mean, he knows that he also has to pump up to be the best and to be the most to fight effective fighters and the leaders of the army that are the most effective killing machine in the world, this and that. So it's
It's
like,
bizarre.
but also like berating them for being fat, for not having, the right
Right. The
standards
standards.
and
Yeah.
all of this and
Yeah.
that. But it's also telling, I mean, it's like there has been a lot of stuff that we have celebrated over the years that we are missing now, or just seems to be missing in action. Um, and it seems to be a situation where there's way too many people who are looking for, um, people that are in lower stations in life to sort of fight back against the government when it's like finally now they're being affected by it, so like
Yeah.
it's like they're 10, 20 years behind the eight ball on actually their life being impacted in any way that was relevant to, like, their paycheck or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
had no idea who they were dealing with their opposition, and
Well, I think
they think
that's
that,
a
and they
big part of the
still
problem.
think that snarky late night comedy and the woo from the
Yeah.
crowd
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
some sort of currency and value against what
Maybe
we're seeing happen.
maybe it's like the most important thing that you could teach people is who's your enemy? Who
Right,
is
right.
actually in your pocket? Who's hurting you? Who's actually the ones you need to go up against? Because I think it's too easy for people to get confused and think that the enemy is who I'm told the enemy is, rather than to actually examine your life and think who is
Well,
doing the most damage to us.
that's the
What
thing
happened
is,
to your screen? You just went to a.
I don't, it's just not my day. I don't know. Um,
That's what Verstappen said. So did Piastri in the race today. Oh, I wanted to go my digging deep though. You wanted to dig deep a little bit, so I shared this theory with you I think earlier this week, but I'm just gonna throw it out there for posterity, so it's on the interweb just to see. So everybody says, why did they need to gather these 800 generals in one room at the same time to deliver this innocuous message that could have been an email, could have been a memo or whatever? And everybody's making fun of it and talking about it. And then Trump comes out and does his little comedy sketch with them and this and that. And the generals just have to sit through this like 2 hours of whatever that was. And I said that that is a way you pull these 800 people into a room and you're giving them a speech, but behind you is the Palantir technology, facial recognition cameras that can tell emotions based on eye movement and all those sorts of things that they have. And you've got these 800 test subjects to see what the message is, like who's on message, who's off message. And they could probably tell just by the facial recognition which generals now they can trust
mm,
implicitly with whatever horrible commands they plan on giving and which ones they know are not going to follow those orders.
yeah,
And they
yeah, it's
probably have
interesting.
enough data to give them that range based on that, which you couldn't get from say like a Zoom meeting or if you're just one-on-one with everybody, but you get the same message to all those people at the same time and you can compare all of
Hmm.
those faces. Because when you look at those pictures, they're like clear. It's like, you know, a lot of times they would be in the dark and the person
Hmm.
on stage would be lit up. But when they take those photographs, you could see everybody's face in the audience
Hmm.
clearly,
Yeah, so that
which
they
is,
could see the crowd. Yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting. That's interesting perspective. I didn't really think about it that way. I just thought about it more. in the sense of like where it looked like it was a something that was very commercial, very retail, very
Oh,
like retail
you said
politics.
that about him selling his book.
And yeah, and like and
Yeah.
where look it
And
seemed like
I watched
it
it
would be
after
like
that. I
a
watched it after that just to catch that where he says it. It's like, oh, it's so cringe. Like he really
yeah,
does just, oh, is there a book about that? And he
yeah,
takes
but
that
and it's
drink.
right, right. And he's like just
Oh
with
my
a sip of
God.
his coffee. But yeah, and
Coffee.
it's
No,
but it's
that I
also
want to talk about that
weird
real quick.
because like America just doesn't really have a strong identity of itself in
No,
general, right? Like it
no,
has its strength at the top like level of itself, but that has not really transferred down to the people in any real measured way. And if they've all like the majority of people I'd say have been disaffected one way or the other, where as far as
absolutely.
results go.
Yeah.
But
No, that
like
idea of what is the American identity. I love that question because that's the thing where you move to another country and you see how people identify here and what makes them whatever they are. And of course, they've
hmm
got their language, they've got this,
hmm
1,000-year-old culture that they can look back at. And most of the people in this region are connected genetically, like
hmm
they're very close, they're very
right,
similar
right.
in
And
that way. And so
you
they
have a lot of people throughout America that will go that connect their family straight back to the Revolutionary War, right? So you have that sort of category, and this is all throughout
yeah, the
small
old blue
towns
bloods who
America.
have been there forever. Yeah.
People who are very, very well connected through the established
Yeah.
small towns, established downtown councils in small
Yeah.
towns, things of
And the
that nature.
churches
All of that.
and
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
the things.
Everything that you
Yeah.
see
So this
in
is,
maps. But
boy, you
then
just opened
you
up.
have,
Hold on, Dal. One second. I want to touch on that. So I don't know how far back you told me once how far back your family goes.
pretty close to the Revolutionary War. I don't
Yeah,
if but
you
it's
so
like
you and I are completely
Port of
opposite
Virginia.
in that, right? So
Right.
your family's been forever. I was first generation born in America
hmm
in
hmm
this small town in the middle of Nebraska. And it's like
hmm
I could see from that perspective, like these people's names in this town mean something. Like if you
hmm
have this last name or this last name or this last name, and they trace themselves all the way back to when this town was founded, and they own all the land and they have all the properties and everything's got their name on it.
hmm
And it's like that was never my America, right?
hmm
So you
Well, and it's
speak
a
from
little
that
different too
perspective a
on the
little bit.
East Coast. Like East Coast is a little older, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit
Oh
more
yeah.
mixed in there. Some of it is equal to that big money of the
Baked
time,
in.
where it's like the
Mm-hmm.
money did track through to today.
Mm-hmm. Oh
But
yeah.
in a lot of ways, it's like where it's like you have more commerce, more business, more of that old style, and then like the as you go further west, it's like it wants to leave that East Coast busyness and sort of maybe bureaucracy that would have built up in that
Yeah.
sort of behind in the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so it's a little bit like where like there's some of that, and there's some people who like feel like there's like more America than America. So even if you were like where I am from there, and my family has
Mm-hmm.
been there for however long, three maybe 400, I forget, like 300 years or something like that. It's longer
Yeah.
than the country was there. But like then you run into people and it's like you have to prove all of that to them today in their terms, and it's never good enough. That's where you'll get like your all these splinter groups that are
Mm-hmm.
breaking off, and so they can communicate with each other and understand kind of like with the dog whistles and things like that for each other, and they
Yeah.
like parse out who belongs and who doesn't belong.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of them will even start to bring in more people like yourself that are more first generation white people from Europe, that would have a little more tendency to want to be where, because you don't have any of that, or not necessarily you, but like there wouldn't be that same connection to American
Mm-hmm.
identity. So it's like so it can morph and shape into what they want it to be, and it becomes more white supremacy, more cracking skulls. But then it's like, but
Yeah.
but the H-1B visas are up, or like the immigration numbers can balance out because they're bringing in white foot soldiers basically.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Well,
that's not across the board. It's just that I've
no.
seen that happen enough to where it's concerning.
So
Um,
do you think it always ends up like it's a natural state of the United States that it ends up like building up to that, like moving up the ladder, it becomes more and more this you got to be this
some, but I think
mindset.
like there's way more of the American descendants of slaves and the black population that has um, like meshed into the American identity thing over the last I don't know, like 100 years, I guess you'd say,
Yeah.
um, on lots of different levels. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's lots of that happens um, where the adults in those communities will have different perspectives than the younger people do, and and as far as political stuff, the way they interact with police and stuff like that. But yeah, it's there's this idea too with the Democrats where they're looking back at to a more FDR New Deal thing after the Great Depression
Yeah.
that was
We're
established, and
creating a
they don't
society.
really have a good sense of what that is. And then it's like the Republicans in MAGA want to go back to even the before that New Deal, and before certainly before civil
like
rights.
like
You know,
Reconstruction and
yeah, well, and like you were saying with earlier with the 1950s concept, where it's like there is this idea of the 1950s, and that would have been before civil rights movement, right? So it would
Mhm.
have been after New Deal, before civil rights, but it's like the symbolism that they're going for, and like the sense of identity of American would be actually before FDR, and it would be like more of
Well,
the
before
America
women had a
first
right
would.
to vote,
Well,
before
yeah, and like
blacks had a right to vote, before all of that. Yeah.
the Charles Lindbergh group that where
The
I think that would have been
Gilded
like America,
Age,
yeah, or America
the
First.
Rothschilds, and they're not Rothschilds, but the who was the guy? The
Yeah,
big business
Rockefeller.
guy.
Or
Rockefeller, yeah, those that era. Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to ask you about your update on your construction, your project, the big dig.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Last time you showed
demolition.
some bricks. What
Yeah,
what
yeah,
what
and
where are you at?
more
Yeah.
more bricks have happened. Lots more oven fire bricks, and then more demolition. So the gable that was in there the roof started to come down more, and then
Hmm.
the rafters, and now like the all of the bricks and the both gables that were
Oh my
put in.
gosh. And are you gonna dig a new foundation?
Um, sort of. There'll be some. The old foundation around there will be dug out and then made new,
Yeah, okay.
but there is a lot there. And then that will be built on top of. Then there will be a new sort of addition to the front of the house, and that will have like a whole new foundation. So
Oh, very good.
because it's not there, so it has to.
Very exciting. So what's the deadline, the hope? What are you hoping for? Late
We're thinking,
2026?
yeah, we're thinking fall. We're thinking a year from now.
Yeah,
We would be in there. So
that would be nice.
yeah, so end of summer, fall, 2026 would be good. It could very well happen before because it's not a very big house.
Hmm.
It's just more about the weather and the timing of it all. Like we can get some things started, but then we'll have to stop for winter. And then springtime can be kind of wet and messy, and so
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
not a lot that takes place with that
Yeah.
either.
Growing season short, the construction season's short. It's like
Mhm.
everything's a little bit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we have some promising news where we may get a promotional greenhouse for it, and we may do other promotional things with the
Why do you
property.
say promotional greenhouse? What does that mean?
Where we're getting it, the people want to advertise it, and
Oh,
we're getting it for free, and yeah, um,
so you're
it's a part,
promoting this greenhouse.
uh, sort
You're
of.
you're
It's
celebrity. You're celebrity promoters. You're like
Well,
influencers or what?
my wife was the
Oh,
celebrity in the situation, yeah, and there
oh, I thought
she's going
I
to be
thought
in
our
a
podcast
commercial
was
for it,
taking
and
off and people were coming to you and asking you to promo things.
I
Maybe get some free
wish,
tools.
no, no, I don't. I like in a perfect world we would be able to do that, but it maybe in a more perfect world we would just be able to stay safe and under the radar and
Yeah, I was gonna
be
say
able to
this is
have.
I don't think this is a perfect world scenario because the reason
Mhm.
we're having these conversations is because the world is quite imperfect and it's
Yeah.
just good to have a chat about it because sometimes you sit and stew in silence and you just wonder is anybody out there thinking the same thing I am? Is anybody
Hmm.
seeing what I'm seeing or hearing what I'm hearing or
Hmm.
and it can just be really I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. This overpowering oppression of the of events that you
I don't know
can't
what to think
control and
about
you
it.
just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Well, the
it's
Huskers
really
won. The Huskers won yesterday.
the Huskers won. I'm
Yeah. So
on
that's
I'm
that's
the because
I
I
can be
think
distracted for like a few
Greta Thunberg might be in captivity of Israeli under Israeli
is that the latest
uh
update from
what
the
is that
world?
word? Yeah, what would the word be? Like not it's not necessarily captivity,
IDF?
but it's where like they have you held in detained. That's it.
Captivity. Oh, detained,
She's
detained.
more of a detainee, where like which is like I feel like it's a little bit questionable if she's being used in a particular way and put in harm's way without being fully aware of intellectually of the circumstances, I guess what I'm
Why don't you think she's aware of it?
she's very young
Not
and
that
it's
young
like and she
anymore.
could and it's her cause was environmentalism for
Hmm.
this line. Now all of a sudden she's switched to this cause with as
Well,
much
the
fervor
big
and as much,
the
you know what I'm
interesting thing
saying?
about that, I've seen lots of people like one sec, I want to share the headline from I was just checking to see if this was in my news feed. So I checked and balloons carrying smuggled cigarettes over Lithuania closed Vilnius airport for hours.
Oh my, those are cigarettes.
Yeah,
I saw that it was closed and that flights were diverted to
yeah,
Latvia and Poland and stuff, and it was cigarettes. It's
because
like
balloons carrying
it's
smuggling
like
cigarettes.
some kind of they're like doing like prison tactics or something
That's
where
like it's like
you
Hogan's
drop it in the
Heroes
prison
in real
walls. Yeah,
life. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Da,
Exactly.
da,
But it's
da,
like
da, da. Yeah.
it's such a strange place, man. Such a
Yeah. Now
strange
back
place.
to your point. What did you ask me before that? Oh, Greta Thunberg. So yeah, she was very popular when she was very young and doing this environmental stuff, and then everybody raked her over the coals, and there was lots of backlash against her. But she still had her champions, the people who admired her, and that was good. And she was like this held up as this icon. Then as soon
Well,
as she
she's an
started going
adult
into
now, though. She's
Palestine,
an adult now, yeah? She's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
22,
But
23.
but now that she's doing this, the same people who were championing her ignore her and don't she didn't get any press. She doesn't get anything from anybody
Hmm.
because it's okay to be environmental and that's
Yeah.
politically acceptable and whatever. But now her stance trying to help Palestine is too controversial for the mainstream rah-rah team.
I
They
know.
won't
Well,
even
exactly. Yeah.
you
And
don't
it's
even see her.
did you think you were not talking about bombs going off somewhere at some point or bullets flying or, you know what I'm saying? Like people are dying from this, but not from that, you know?
Oh wow. Here's a headline from The
No,
Guardian.
I mean, it really does. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Israel accused of detaining Greta Thunberg in infested cell and making her hold flags. Did North
And you can't,
Korea
and what,
threaten
you
to
can't
nuke
believe
Israel over
anything
Greta?
anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's this is like a whole other discussion in and of itself, but it's like we really have no idea what to believe from
Oh, yeah. And
perspective.
the all this new AI stuff that just came out. Do you know
But
the
that's
name of
and
that?
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's like and like now we've got AI mixed into this thing when no one had a clear grip on the situation of understanding anything about the the concepts of being just an American citizen, it seems like, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get all these, so then it's like, well, how much of what these lunatic of auditors and sovereign citizen people going around talking about admiralty law, well, how much of that was actually true and legitimate? Because now it seems like there's other things that are happening around us all, and the rugs like being pulled out from underneath people. And
Big
again,
time.
it's like they are just getting they never got the memo of exactly who they were dealing with, and they want all of the normal citizens to somehow
Yeah.
stop all the people with all the heavy machinery, all the trucks, all the guns, and all of the like rabid
Yeah.
attitudes that would be like that. And really, it's the situation of where it built up over time with the police and the Proud Boys and all of that. One of the first things I saw was where these like 90-pound college students, which is typically who you're dealing with. You're dealing with high school and college freshmen.
Hmm.
Um, and that's a very important point too, is that our whole system is always going backwards to the freshman class of college, where they're trying to appeal, the colleges are trying to appeal to them to get them to in for admissions
Hmm. Hmm.
um, earlier, or once they get there, they get to run the show to keep them happy and stuff. And so every year we get this whole thing just with college freshmen that really have no
Do you think
experience.
so? What like some litmus test to look at what college freshmen are into, and then you can kind of gauge
So
the direction of the.
that's why there's always these new things that come out, and and nobody really knows they're talking about, but then it's everywhere because it gets pushed through these college networks. But so it was the Proud Boys went and basically curb stomped these 90-pound uh, protesters, like 4 or 5 of them with rainbow flags for
Hmm.
LGBT rights or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was nothing, no response
When
whatsoever
did
from the
this happen?
Democrats. This was years ago. This was like
Oh, I don't
before,
remember
maybe
that.
before,
Wow.
I think it was like the last year of Obama or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like, but the Proud Boys were coming up, and you could, and so it may have even been under the Trump administration. I don't know when exactly they started, but there was no response whatsoever. And it's like, you're going to put this philosophy out there and put it against people who are very well fed and very well, kept and strong, and have lots of resources, and
Hmm.
then not do anything if weaker people are attacked for that when
But
that happens.
why are you bringing up a story from like 10 years ago about this? Like, and
Because
one
it's the
one little
same
example.
thing today. It's just and the whole philosophy has been basically don't arm yourself with anything, even up to self-defense.
You're saying that's the message we get from the left,
Basically, yeah.
but they just shut the government down. They stood up for something.
That's doing less than nothing. That's like pure incompetence. That's the that's the that's end game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
Yeah, but don't
surely
isn't
sure
it
they
what they
won't they're
have
not
to
going to
do to
fund it.
actually?
They're not
Isn't
going
it
to fund
something they
it, but
have to?
but that doesn't matter. That ICE already has all of that $100 billion budget, and with
No,
all
I
of
think
those
it starts in
bonuses.
it
Huh?
starts in this next
But they
quarter.
gave them all those bonuses, right?
Oh. I don't
So
know. I don't know
yeah,
when
so
the payments.
they're giving all those ICE agents bonuses. So like
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if they're not getting a paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me go back to that question. You know the name of this? What's the new AI? I'm trying to find it on this in the news. That new AI video creation tool. I saw examples of it. What was it called? Do you know?
Oh, I'm not sure. There's one that's Sora.
Yeah,
Um, mhm.
Sora, S-O-R-A.
Sora, yeah.
Sora 2, yeah, Sora 2.
Yeah. I think that's on ChatGPT or part of that.
And they just showed these videos from it that just you really just can't tell real
Wait, I
from
saw
fake.
one where like a cat was in a Ferrari escaping the cops. There was another one where a cat was on a motorcycle or a four-wheeler or something popping wheelies. Yeah.
Yeah. And you believed it? Thought it was real?
No, 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 no. It just looked very good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
especially the one with the cat with the Ferrari. He's like looking up at the cop and he's like, meow, meow. And he's like, meow, and like jumps and just like hits that
No,
steering wheel and takes
no. I
off.
just saw the I just saw this one. It was Aaron Paul coming out gay with his new makeup line. And it looked exactly real. And it was just pure AI. And his facial hair, everything, just
Hmm.
sounded
I don't
real,
know who
looked
that
real.
is.
Aaron Paul, that podcaster turned into boxer, fought Mike
Jake
Tyson.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul
Aaron
and
Paul. Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul is the actor from Breaking Bad,
yeah, he's got
right?
his I don't know.
Jesse.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
That's Aaron Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, I messed that up. Jake
there's
Paul.
Jake Paul and then he's got a brother too. They're both pretty awful people.
Well, we don't know them. Maybe they're
Just
good
moved
people.
into a giant estate in Georgia. It's like um this looks like
Is that where they're from? Oh, yeah.
Nebraska.
2 minutes left. I got one
Yeah.
more topic I wanted to ask you about because last time we talked about the Saudi Arabian Comedy Fest, and I kind of bashed out a little bit of my comedy routine this week. And then I heard Louis talking on Bill Maher about why he went, and now I'm kind of torn because I respect Louis. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate him or whatever, but he's got a soft spot. Made me laugh a lot, and he just said like comedy is one of the first ways to open people's minds. Like if you can go to places where these people are trying to do their comedy and whatever, and then it's like it's a step towards bridging a gap between cultures. And then I'm like, oh, damn it, he's got a point. Maybe it is not so bad. Maybe I'm just too close-minded about the whole thing and jaded by the fact that they're being paid millions, whatever rupees to go there.
Hmm.
I don't know. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
was a little
know.
swayed. I got to admit it.
Well, I would say that like it's the comedians are the preachers of the secular world, and that would probably offer very little in the way of actual convictions of any sort. Does that make sense? Where
Yeah,
it's
but some of them have like these pretty strong
yeah.
political.
I'm feeling pretty nihilistic this or I guess
Well,
pessimistic. I don't
congratulations.
know if it'd be
Okay. I
nihilistic or
like
pessimistic.
nihilistic. Nihilistic is so cool because you just don't care about anything.
It's more, well, I mean, like I wouldn't want to have harm come to people, but I'm just at a point where I don't feel like there's a lot of bright spots, but as far as like, yeah,
Dallas, did I tell you Nebraska won? They beat Michigan State
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah,
Nebraska Cornhuskers, they won the game. So
yeah.
when you say there's nothing to look forward to or there's nothing to hope for, I've
Well,
just given you something, a very concrete.
I think the world could explode and just
I
go
think I think we're going to end
into
on
atomized
the
bits,
explosion
and
of the
there would be
world.
people in the media asking, "Did the world
Did the
just
Huskers?
explode?"
Oh,
You know, where it's
oh,
like
yeah.
it's this thing where it's like no matter
Wow,
what
that's
happens,
deep.
all
That's
we get are
deep.
these questions of is this really happening? So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
All
see
right.
how
Well,
it
thanks. It's good to see you, Dallas.
yeah. Good
Take
to see you
care.
too,
Stay
and
warm.